Hello, my jiggly jumpy jellos. Today I'm gonna be drawing 3 Gacha OCs, and if you want yours to be drawn, then you should join the link in the description. I choose 2 to 3 OCs every week. Anyways, let's get started, shall we? First off, we have Asami Takami. I don't know if I said that right or not. And she is an OC by Arctic. She's the lead vocalist and guitarist of her band Wild Style. She's determined, optimistic, and a very good leader who's always looking out for others while making her dreams come true to become a famous singer like her idol, and her gender is female. I think she was the most fun to draw of the 3 that I did. So first I start off with the sketch, which is a little bit messy, so don't worry about it. You know what they say, trust the process. I wanted to have her holding a microphone in her hand because she's a singer. So yeah. The pose was pretty fun to do, and I really liked drawing her face and all that stuff. The clothes were also very fun to draw in my opinion. Especially the bow and the jacket and her sleeves. But for the skirt, I kind of didn't know I was doing for a little while. But I fixed it. I think it looks fine now, I guess. Trying to make some little adjustments. I liked the sleeves for some reason. And then I did the hair and all that stuff. Also, just don't mind me, I don't know how to draw stars that much, so yeah. Adding a little bit of wrinkles. I actually kind of struggled with the hand, so I kind of gave up on the hand and just used one of Ibis Paint's free sketch models, so yeah, don't judge me. I didn't know how to draw the hand. I also didn't know how to draw the hand here. I think I actually like what I did with the hair for some reason. I like how it's flowy and stuff. It was fun. Can't forget about the blush. And finally, moving on to the coloring. This was pretty chill. I think it was pretty fun as well. I also ended up using several layers for the coloring and shading and stuff. Very, very, very long silence. My favorite part, the eyes. And then I actually started to shade. For some reason, shading the tail and her ears were pretty fun for some reason. I don't know why. The clothes were also fun to shade. Specifically the blue parts. Some awkward silence. Don't mind me, I was just messing with the colors here. And finally, shading the hair. I think the hair was probably like my favorite part of this drawing. It was actually really fun to do. And it was very fun to like mess with the colors and all that stuff. I also almost forgot to like shade the microphone. I also do this thing where like I like color the outlines or the line art because it looks prettier and I think black lines look ugly. I also kind of wanted to do this like cute thing with the microphone and make it look all dynamic and stuff. So yeah, here is the final product. Next up is Riley by Happy. She's the rude, mean girl type, but she can be nice. Not the nicest person in general, though. She's a stupid brat, apparently. Very nice information to know. I'll keep that in mind. So for Riley, I kind of wanted to have her like holding her phone and trying to take a selfie because that kind of seems like the type of thing she would do, in my opinion. I also had to keep adjusting the arms for some reason. For some reason, they were like too big, and I didn't like that. I also tried to have her shirt like tucked in because I think that looks good. I also like the flowy skirt. Yeah. I also kind of wanted her to have a playful expression on her face because why not? I also kind of like the way the shirt turned out for some reason. But the ponytail was fun to do. I also finally drew the hands this time. But I had to keep like constantly adjusting them because they just didn't look right to me. Crickets and awkward silence. And now we move on to coloring. I also liked the colors on this one because, yeah, I like the tint. I made the hands smaller too. Well, not the hands, the arms. And it looks right now. I also really liked doing the eyes on this one for some reason. It was fun. And finally, moving on to shading. Off topic, but like this art piece apparently took 8 hours, which I refuse to believe. Because there's like no way this took 8 hours. That has to be a lie. I actually had to redo the skirt because like I had no idea how to shade the skirt, so I did something like more simple. And now I'm doing some other stuff. I think the phone and the bow were pretty simple but fun to do. And the headband. The hair was also fun. I liked the like pink outline. And I liked shading it in general. I didn't know what I was doing here. Finally coloring the outlines. I also forgot to say I missed like a couple details from earlier. I liked outlining the hair. That was fun. And drawing the little kitties were cute. And here is the final product. Next up is Serafina from Dreamlight. She's cunning, sassy, and a confident diva who has a thing for being a fashion model. At first, I kind of wanted her to be like holding perfume and being all excited about it. But that didn't really work out because I didn't know how to like draw it. And then I wanted her to be like holding shopping bags while yawning. And I scratched that as well, kind of. Then I wanted her hand to be on her hip, and then I just went with whatever this was, because I couldn't draw the other ideas I had in mind. I think this was like one of the more like simpler designs. This like the simplest design, so it took like the least amount of time for me to make. I really liked drawing her sleeves though. That was fun. I also had to like postpone like coloring the hair because I didn't have the full image for some reason until like way later when I was drawing this. I kind of didn't know what I was doing with the hands, but I like kept them because I thought they looked good. I was also a little bothered by like one of her arms being a little skinny, but I fixed that a little bit, like a little later on. The colors were pretty simple for this one as well. Mine is probably like the shopping bags, but like those were also kind of simple. Awkward silence. I also kind of forgot to mention how I basically almost forgot about her earring. I also kind of didn't know what I was doing with the shading, but I think it kind of worked out. This is definitely like one of the more simpler drawings. I think the like sweater part, like the top part, was pretty fun. Sorry, I'm like not able to like fill in silence. I finally did the shopping bags. They were fun to do as well. Also, it's not a drawing of mine if it doesn't have blush. I also forgot to mention that I finally remembered the earring. I don't know when I did that. Finally doing the outlines now. Oh hey, I'm finally finishing up the hair. I liked what I was doing with like the shading of the hair. I was like adding a little bit of like red and stuff, and I like that. I like the way it looks, and it was pretty fun to do as well. I also think I made her look like too cute. Literally almost forgot about the glasses. Anyways, it's basically done. Anyways, if you want your OC to be drawn, just join the link in the description.